It's the 1st of June today, and my local Starbucks that usually delivers to my house aren't delivering today. So I've had to go for a McDonald's iced latte. Happy Pride. Hi everyone, welcome back to How to Train Your Gavin. It is time for summer and I do actually have quite a few books and video projects I would like to get to and share with you in this video. Now if you saw my week in the life video, you will know that I don't really allow myself to have fun anymore. Well, I do have fun, like I am really passionate and I love doing the videos I've been doing. But yeah, as I mentioned in that video, I feel like I've kind of suffocated myself with a workload that I seem to be not exactly struggling with, but it doesn't give me a lot of leeway in what I want to read. So my plan this summer is to not try and treat every single video like it has to be some big hour-long project. I would absolutely love it if I could get a video under 1 hour. Oh my god, that would be amazing. This video obviously will be, but it's a TBR. But like, say a reading vlog. If I can get a reading vlog under an hour, oh, where is Gavin and what have you done with him? But I do want to have some fun this summer, so I need to take it easy on myself. So that's the first thing that I need to do. I mean, I do have a lot of books here that I want to get to, and these aren't even all of them. But some of them I just picked off my shelves just before thinking, you know what, I really fancy reading that. I fancy reading that, and I haven't even thought of a video for them. So I'm just like, who is she? Who is she? Where did you find her? So let's firstly get into books that I genuinely do have to read for book clubs and things. So for my Patreon, I'm doing a middle grade book club, a YA and adult book club, and now a Christie Crime and Wine book club. So we've got 3 book clubs going, but they do run on different months, so it's all good. So the middle grade book club pick that was for May and June is Hedge Witch by Skye McKenna. I don't think I mentioned this in my previous video, but I could have. This one follows a girl called Cassi who, along with her talking cat and a broomstick, go to the small village of Hedgeley where she gets trained under the eye of the Hedge Witch. It does sound very Kiki's Delivery Service, Eva Evergreen-esque. My book club picks are picked by a Patreon poll, by the way, so my patrons do have a big say in what we'd actually read. So the YA and adult one is Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies by Heather Fawcett. We're reading this in June and July, with a live show at the end of July. This one follows Emily Wilde, and she is, lo and behold, writing an encyclopedia of fairies. She seems to travel around and she ends up going to this village where there is a potential love interest, and she's also trying to find out about the hidden ones there, and I think it just all gets a bit of a mess. But I am ready for a whimsical, magical YA/adult book. I think this is adult. I'm going to be discussing it with my patrons at the end of July. And for the Christie Crime and Wine, which is a brand new club that I'm doing with my patrons, because when I did The Body in the Library, and I do have a video for that if you want to check it out, but I did have some live shows with my patrons. We discussed clues, suspects, before we found out who the killer was in The Body in the Library, which was a sort of unofficial book club. But we had so much fun doing that we're going to read the ABC Murders by Agatha Christie in August, and we're going to try and solve it all together like we did before. This one is a Poirot book and it follows the murders of people who have alliterative names. So for example, like Alice Ashby, and then Barbara Baggins, you know, like things like that. Like they seem to be dying in order in different places too that also begin with the letter. So it seems very random. So how is Poirot gonna solve this? How am I and my sleuth's gonna solve it? That's the question. So I'm really excited to read this one in August. So these are the next 3 books for my Patreon book clubs, and I have a link down in the description box if you want to check it out. The next thing I'm going to talk about, I'm not going to talk about too much because I actually talked about it in my spring TBR video, and it turns out that I just did not have the time to do it during the months of March, April and May. So I've had to push this video back, but I'm so desperate to do it and I'm so excited to do it, and that is the reading the fairy tales that inspired the Disney Renaissance. I have been wanting to do this video for a while, and I wanted to time it with the new Little Mermaid movie, which I did enjoy, by the way. And I was going to read a lot more for the video. I was going to try and do Hunchback of Notre Dame, Tarzan, but then I decided to limit it to just the fairy tales and the fairy tales that inspired certain movies. So I have The Little Mermaid, Aladdin and Beauty and the Beast. So I'm just going to be reading those 3 in the vlog. I don't want to overexert myself. I don't want to make the vlog 2 hours long. So I've shortened it down for my own sanity and focusing on just the fairy tales. I'm very excited to actually finally be able to do this vlog. The next big vlog, and I'm so scared. I am so scared, but I'm so excited, is in June. This month, in like 2 weeks, I'm going to 30 East Drive, and that is one of the most haunted houses in England. So it's actually inhabited by a very violent poltergeist, and a lot of videos have been made there. There's actually been a film made about the place too, and it was that creepy that the director of that film ended up buying the house. and he is the one who lets paranormal investigators come and do their paranormal investigations. So I'm really scared because I've seen so many videos of people going to 30 East Drive and oh, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. But at least I'm doing it for the vlog. But it'll be so fun. I will make it fun, okay? The Black Monk of Pontefract has met its match in me. I tell you, oh my god, we're gonna have a blast. We're gonna have a blast. So what I'm trying to do for that video is I'm sick of reading crap for the videos where I go to haunted locations. It seems like every haunted location video I do, I read shit. So I actually have two that I want to read for this one. One I'm going to read on the train there because it's only 33 pages long, and one while I'm actually in the house. So the short story that I want to read on the train is The Night Sun by Zin A. Rockland. It's only 33 pages long, and apparently it is about a couple on their way to a remote cabin in Colorado. That is all I know about it. With it only being 33 pages, I feel like any more than that, you've got the whole story, haven't you? So I'm going to read that one on the train so that I at least have something literary to talk about while I'm at this house and make it relevant to BookTube. And then I'm thinking of maybe reading The Nun Massacre by Regina Watts while I'm there, because I do want something that is a horror, that's a short novella, and will get under my skin because the ghost stories at 30 East Drive involve monks. So I really want a horror that's quite relevant to that. I believe I got this recommendation from Kasha's Book Cemetery's channel, so I will leave their channel in the description box below. This one's set in 1978. It follows Dawn and her friends, and decades before, when they were at school, a lot of their friends and the nuns that worked at that school were massacred, and they survived. So for some reason, as slasher characters do, they decide to go to the abandoned school that they once went to, and while they're there, they start dying one by one. So to me, it sounds amazing because I'm looking for more slasher type books, but at the same time, I don't know if this is what I genuinely want to read at 30 East Drive. So if anyone has any recommendations for a short novella, horror, maybe paranormal, or something that deals with something religious, if it's written by a POC author or an LGBTQ+ author, I would love you forever for that recommendation. You know what, this one seems to be at the top of the pile at the minute, so yeah, we're just gonna go with this one for now, and then we might change my mind later. Okay, while we're on the topic of recommendations, this channel, because, you know, it's a collaborative effort, I would love another recommendation that's kind of like, maybe like gay monster romance, and something that's probably terrible, that I could do for a video that is in the same vein as the Does It Hurt video that I did, which was a really bizarre TikTok romance. So anything like that, please leave in the comments down below too. I'm not going to do any long series projects in the next couple of months. The Secret Circle video took everything out of me because I did not expect that to be over 3 hours long. It's 6 books. What have I got to talk about for 3 hours in 6 books? So because of that, I've decided not to do any like complete series for a little while. But what I will do is, because I'm planning on reading all of Fear Street and getting the video up in September, I might start reading it now. So I do have the first Fear Street book here by R.L. Stine, and I will just like pick them up randomly over the next 3 months. So then I'm not rushing to get a video done by the end of a month, because I was going to try and read all of them in August, but I just feel like I'd be putting too much pressure on myself. And at least this way I will be able to film it over 3 months and I won't be overwhelmed. I have already read the first 4 books. I read them a couple of years ago when the Fear Street movies came out, but I can't really remember too much of them, so I'm just going to start back from the beginning. There's 51 books, and yeah, I'm scared. I'm scared. The Fear Street books are really classic YA books that's sort of like Goosebumps but for teens. I didn't love the first 4 books that I read, but I'm very open-minded and I'm looking forward to making a huge monster documentary about the Fear Street series. I do all own 51 books, but I'm not going to pick them all right now for the video. But you probably will find me reaching for one every now and then when I've got a moment. I know a lot of people are sick of seeing manga on my channel, and I'm here to tell you that's not going to stop. However, it will probably get less as the months go on, because I will be catching up to One Piece by August. So over the next few months, I still will be reading One Piece and making my One Piece videos. Honestly, guys, this series helps my mental health, so I will have no words about it, okay? And I'm very excited to catch up. I should be catching up in August and get to the current storyline. There will still be One Piece videos every single week or month after that too, don't get me wrong, but at least I will have caught up. I won't have to do these huge videos on each arc that I'm doing right now. Instead, there'll be huge videos on themes and storylines and all of that. So for those asking, I will still be reading Berserk. I do want to finish the current arc that I'm in. I might change the format up after that because my Berserk videos do kind of tank my channel at the minute. So I want to try and like rejig it maybe and approach it a different way. But I will finish out the arc that I'm reading in the way that I'm doing it now. But just know that videos will be coming for Berserk. Just probably not as frequently as One Piece, for instance. But it will get done. I'm just trying to salvage my channel. In July, we have Summerween. I'm so excited. It's hosted by my favourites, Gabby and Liv. I don't know what the prompts are. I don't care what the prompts are. I always just read what I want to read for Summerween, and they can't say anything about it, because I'm me. I might do something like I did last year where I borrowed some books from the library because I'm dying to go back to my library. It's been a few months and I've missed it. So I want to go back to the library and maybe get some thrillers out that, you know what, who knows, maybe I might follow the prompts this year. I ain't promising nothing. I was actually going to hire the haunted castle that's right next to where I live for a night, and I was going to be in there by myself, but it's very, very expensive, and you know, I try to use my Patreon money to put back into the channel and like membership money and stuff like that and ad revenue, but it's just way too expensive for me to do. So I did have the idea of spending a night in the haunted castle for Summerween. It's not going to happen, maybe next year, but I just want to let you guys know that I'm constantly thinking of things and ideas, but it's just too much money and I can't justify it right now, but definitely in the future because it just looks so good and so haunted. In July, I also want to try and do some vlogs where I read what I want. Maybe read some anticipated books. Maybe just mood read and use the video time to pick something, you know, like there and then. Why is my hair like this? Oh my god, has it been like this the entire time? I can't tell. Oh man, I've just been in the shower. Happy Pride. So yeah, I did pick some like random books. I got a stack of middle grade here that I'd love to get to. And I do have a summer Can't Believe-a-thon that I want to do with my patrons. Maybe in July, actually. July sounds like a good idea. So I do actually have a stack of middle grade that I think will be perfect for July. Here we have Hurricane Child by Casey Calendar. I loved King of the Dragonflies by the same author, and I still have yet to read Hurricane Child. And this just looks like the perfect one to read over the summer. We follow Caroline, and she's called a Hurricane Child because she was born during a hurricane. This new girl comes to her island, I believe, and they go on some adventures. Caroline also wants to know why her mother disappeared, and all of the good stuff. I just think the setting's going to be amazing, and the writing style too, because I just love Case and Calendar's writing style so much. I also have Jamie by L.D. Lipinski. This is an LGBTQ plus middle grade. You will find so much trans joy, so much non-binary joy in this book, and L.D. Lipinski actually wrote the Strange World Travel Agency series, which I loved, and the main character Jamie is non-binary and comes out to their friends as non-binary, and I have no idea anything else beyond that, but I'm ready to see kids being happy and accepting who they are for who they are. Does that make sense? Accepting who they are for who they are. It'll work. I've also been dying to read the sequel to Like a Charm by Al McNichol. It's a duology. This one, Like a Curse, only came out a few months ago, and it does follow Ramya, and she is able to see things that other people can't see. She also has been warned against the sirens, so that when she goes to Edinburgh, there is danger amongst every corner. There's a vampire who works in the library, and the Greyfire's Bobby comes back to life, and Ramya is a dyspraxic main character, so it's amazing to see that kind of representation too. So this is another one that is high on my priority list. The House of Shells by Efwa Traore. I love Children of the Quicksands by the same author, and I just think this will be perfect for the summer too. This one follows a girl called Cookie, and she follows this line of palm trees to this abandoned beach house, which is filled with scattered shadows and seashells. It just sounds so magical. It sounds like it has nature and folklore woven into the narrative. And how can I refuse a book with French flaps? Come on, it's beautiful. I've been so late to reading the fourth book in the Eerie on Sea series by Thomas Taylor. So Festegrim, which is the fourth book in the sort of Malamander series, is set on a seaside town, which is why this would also be perfect to read during the summer. We have Herbie Lemon, who is able to find lost things, and Violet Palmer, who is his friend, who in the first book is lost herself. So there's just like a lot of adventures on the seaside. There's different kind of monsters and things in each book. So this one, it looks like some kind of iron giant, maybe? I don't know, but it looks so good. The last middle grade that I was just like desperate to read like right now is Pages and Co, The Treehouse Library by Anna James. This is the fifth and penultimate book in the Pages and Co series. This is set in a world of book wandering where you can wander into a book. All your favourite characters can wander out of them so they can talk, converse, and go on adventures with them. I believe we are still following Milo, who is a character introduced in the third book, and I've been really enjoying his story and seeing him develop. In the Treehouse Library, like how great does that sound? It has things like the Secret Garden, Sanderson, Robin Hood, and even the Jabberwock, so maybe a little bit more Alice in Wonderland. Always a treat diving in 2 pages and co. Some more books that I would love to read this summer. Honestly, I feel great about this TBR because I'm just like, these are books that I really fancy reading right now, you know? So I'm proud of myself for this. I would love to read Fake Dates and Mooncakes by Shirley. It just looks so cute and so wholesome. Huge thank you to Tracy for sending me this because it just looks so good. We have Dylan and Theo, and I believe Dylan works at a Chinese restaurant, is that right? Yeah, Dylan works at the struggling Chinese takeout in Brooklyn, and Theo convinces Dylan to be his fake date to a family wedding. Oh, I love fake dating, I do. So it's like the trope I love the most, I think, in romance, is it? I might do a video on my favourite romance tropes, and my least favourite too. But that's definitely one of them, so I really want to read this. I do want to read some more like LGBTQ plus books, not even just in Pride Month, but like all the months. So I'm probably going to read that in July and continue Pride Month for all year round. So I'm going to probably end up picking up some more LGBTQ plus books. But for now as well, I do have some more books I want to read. I don't know if they are LGBTQ plus, but one of them is Tress of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson. I'm really wanting to try and get back into my epic fantasies and my adult fantasies. So Tress of the Emerald Sea, I think, is a good gateway into that because I don't think it's quite adult. I believe it's Brandon Sanderson's kind of take on The Princess Bride, or at least he was inspired to write it after watching The Princess Bride with his wife and kids. I think. I could be totally wrong on that. But I just love The Princess Bride, so if anything like that, if there's anything Princess Bride adjacent, I'm gonna pick it up. And also I might end up reading The Princess Bride in July or August, because I want to do a reading more books that inspire my favourite movies. So like The Princess Bride, The Devil Wears Prada, maybe The Princess Diaries. Who knows? But definitely want to read Tress of the Emerald Sea at some point because I love the green. And speaking of green, because there's a lot of green in this actually, I have In the Lives of Puppets by TJ Klune. This is the Waterstone sprayed edge one. It looks beautiful. I really do enjoy TJ Klune, but I haven't read any of his books in quite some time. There are homes built into the trees, and I believe there are robots. There is an unconventional family going on here too. And that's all I know. It's like the most basic of summaries ever. But I also know that Lexi from Alexandra Roselyn is doing this for a Patreon book club pick, I think. But I don't want to try and read other people's Patreon book club picks because I'm part of a million Patreons. And hopefully have a blast reading this one too. Starting in August, I do want to try and do my vlogs of Halloween, or at least start them. Last year, I somehow managed to cram one video a week for that event while doing other videos on top of that too. And it was just too much. I remember I read all 32 volumes of The Walking Dead in 6 days and stayed up for 24 hours to edit that vlog. I'm not doing that again. I'm not doing that, which is why I'm also starting Fear Street now. But there's other things I want to do which I'm not going to mention now. I'm going to save that for my fall plans, my fall video and reading plans, because there's just so much that I want to do, and you probably would have already heard about all of them anyway. But one of them that I think I might have pushed from this spring TBR video was the Blood on the Tracks video I want to do. I want to read all 13 volumes that are out so far because that's the entire prologue of Blood on the Tracks, and it's such a fantastic manga series. I've only read volume 1 and I've been itching to read the rest, so I've been saving it for this video. I wasn't going to try and do it in May, but you know, time just escaped me and I just didn't have the time to do it. So I think if I do it for my vlogs of Halloween and spread it over August, September and October, then I'm going to have so much more time and I'm going to be so much more happier for it. Blood on the Tracks follows a really bizarre relationship between a mother and her son. That's all I'm saying about it, because I'm also sure I've talked about it a million times. But I do have so many more. Like, that's not it, but that's the only one I want to say right now because I think I mentioned it in my spring TBR video and I had to push it back. But there's just so much more, so much more. Last two things, I do want to do a video reacting to the entire second season of Heartstopper on Netflix. That's coming out on August 3rd, so 2 rights. I'm going to be sitting my ass down and watching the entire thing in one go and filming my reaction like I did with the first season. So that should be coming a few days after the premiere of season 2. So excited. I might also try and react to the movie, the new movie, Red, White and Royal Blue, based on the book by Casey McQuiston. I did read that book 4 years ago now, I think, so I might try and reread it and also react to the film. I only really want to do reactions to things that are books because I want to make it relevant to BookTube. So like Heartstopper is a graphic novel series, Red, White and Royal Blue is a book, so you know, that's why I'm tying these into my channel. I probably shouldn't have had iced latte at this time. I'm like getting really oh my god, Idina Menzel started a live video. What you gotta say? What you gotta say? Oh my god, I think she's inviting fans onto her Instagram live. I would never be able to. I would never be, I'd die. I'd die. God, I'm so straight. Happy Pride. And at the very end of August, like the very end of August, that is when I start to fly to Japan for my incredible once-in-a-lifetime adventure trip to Japan with some incredible people. I've already got to know so many of them, and I just know that this is going to be the best bookish trip ever. There are still spots available, and the trip closes on July 15th. So if you do want to check it out, this is like the last time I'll be able to mention it in a video, then the link to check out the Trover trip page is down in the description box if you fancy going on an adventure with me at the start of September. But I'm going to start flying at the end of August, so that's why I'm mentioning it now. And there are still loads of things coming too, loads of things I want to read that I haven't mentioned, but I don't want to try and fit it into a time frame, stressing myself out, having to delay things, and just feeling sorry for myself. But those are the main things I want to talk about in this video, so hopefully there's something here that you might look forward to, and if not, maybe the next time you will find something that you want to watch. But that's the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to leave this video a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you haven't already. Leave all your comments down below. Let me know what you're reading over the summer. What are your summer plans? Are you going anywhere nice? Let me know. I want to give a huge thank you to my patrons and my One Piece channel members. If you'd like to join my Patreon or my One Piece channel membership, then all the links are down in the description box. But yeah, I hope I will see you in the next video. Bye.